Hey, all right, we're in. Cool. What's up, everybody? We're back with the Crits and Giggles crew in our flagship campaign. I just said flagship. I'm off to a great
Yeah, you
start.
did. Yeah, you did.
Flagship.
Sometimes you gotta point
Campaign.
out that someone has shit, and that is what the flagship
Yeah,
is for.
well,
So-
I mean, this is Crits and Giggles where the planning is made up and the prep doesn't matter. So,
Nice.
Nice.
so
Now I want to watch Who's Line. Damn
yeah. So last time, our ragtag bunch of idiots, that as you guys have decided to call yourselves, that is not me, started at the exit point of the Temple of the Crushing Wave, or I should say an exit point of the Temple of the Crushing Wave, because there's plenty of that you guys did not go through yet. And down into a strange sort of like central point is all I'm going to call it. We did find, after a brief encounter with some water weirds, no big deal, everybody's fine. We did find the cleric Limura Aldark, who is a central person to Taryn's backstory. Taryn, I do apologize that happened in a session you were not here. However, I'm sticking to my promise that nothing happened that was so central to your character, at least in that session, that you like completely missed out on golden opportunities. So at this point, she is still with you guys, and basically that conversation ended up with she really knows not much at all. Probably one of the most important things about that the short discussion you had with her was that she had been poisoned, and she's been down in that deep cavern for like what is now almost months, right? Who was keeping track of the timeline? We're like 6 weeks in game.
No, we've just about hit 5.
Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, we're at like give or take, depending on how long we've specifically been in these tunnels, about 5 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Jesus.
So she has basically been poisoned to the point of unconscious but still alive for that entire time, plus whatever the gap between when you guys entered scene and when that attack on her caravan happened in the first place. So, a little more exploring around, a couple of strange encounters, flying swords, the water weirds, a little rust monster that we'll talk to for a while. And notably a couple of dead fire cultists. And then you came up through a giant worm's skeleton. Can't make this shit up. Into the room you're in now, which brandishes only the head of that worm and a symbol, which you would recognize as the air cult's symbol. So, guys, did I miss anything? / did we want to reiterate or clarify anything else?
There were people with Limura, but I don't think they were with us anymore. Is that correct?
Yes, that is the 2 dead fire cultists.
Yes. And a cool rust buddy. I love him.
A little rust monster guy.
We had workshopped trying to give him drown to see if he could like dissolve drown with his rust, but we didn't really make a decision, and then decided to keep drown with us.
Yeah, you guys seem like you're kind of in this place of like, what do we do with this thing?
Yeah.
So, actually, we
know
are.
What Kurt wants to do with it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's Gert as much as Sam.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
So this, you are, I will say, any discussion about that and anything else you guys want to have in game, we're at like later in the day, and you are in a currently empty room. Like you just got here and we ended session, so
sure.
if you want to be discussing stuff and trying to figure out more about what you want to do, whether it's that or anything else, I mean, go for it. I'm gonna put on some background, some mood music.
I mean, would we be later in the day enough that reasonably we could take a long rest?
If context clues tell me that you're assuming you want to long rest overnight like normal people,
Yeah.
then yeah, we can say it's close enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Where did? There it is. Okay.
Do I have a thing left? I have to check my stuff. I do.
Because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe our last long rest was like before.
It was. I think it was.
It was
two
after the
sessions
fight
ago.
with
Death Beetle.
Oh,
Gar. I thought it was before
Yeah.
the fight with Gar. Was it not? Or that was a short rest.
Oh,
It
you know
it was
what?
after we were on
Yeah.
the bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because
that was the
we
last
did a
long rest
thing.
you've had. You've had
So
a
that was
lot of fighting today.
Yeah, so that was like, yeah. World has been punched a bunch today.
There's
shoot,
been a
like,
lot of
if you
healing
sleep-
too, though.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree. You guys have done lovely.
Nice.
Bunch of punching.
But yeah, long rest might be nice. Do we want to?
I can dome us.
I was gonna
Again.
say, yeah. I almost said something dirty, so never mind.
No, please do go on.
Man, I missed Sam saying something
Can-
dirty. This is the worst day.
Honestly, continue.
Well, no, I almost said, do we want to pitch the tent? But you know,
It's not dirty. He's literally has a tent that we were gonna
It's-
pitch.
It's a pocket tent. I can
That's
just.
true.
Even better.
Yeah. I'll start.
Oh, man.
I'll start setting up my tiny hut.
Perfect.
It'll take 10 minutes. So.
And then we can all sit around and talk about our feelings.
Yes.
Actually, oh no, it takes effort to do that. Well,
Oh, Taryn, you
It
have
doesn't.
you have to add something to your inventory.
Ooh,
What was it
Oh
called?
yeah, balloon
guys?
bag.
A
right?
balloon bag.
a balloon. Oh my god.
Yeah, we
Get
found a bunch
bag
of balloon
balloons?
bags.
Oh my
which
god.
was tight.
Yes.
And Limora also currently has one, because Cal decided to forego having one so that Limora would have one for the time being.
Is that an official item? I'm assuming.
Yes. You guys can hear the background sounds and music, right? If you
Yeah.
have the
for
music.
some reason, mine just doesn't want to load today.
Oh no.
Your
I
roll
have been
20.
missing- Yeah. I've refreshed it a few times, so I don't know what's going on.
Have you tried talking down to it? I've found that technology tends to only respond if you talk shit to it.
Gotta assert dominance.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Skynet.
God damn it.
I'm just gonna go all over again. So, y'all keep going. Gert would probably try to read a little more.
Fair.
Especially because Limora knows, like, she feels safe around Limora because she knows about the stuff that is contained in the book on
Sure.
her own. So,
Let's hold that up. Where are you?
We're right
I'm
here,
also-
Magic. We're right here.
right. I'm also Sam way behind at translating, so I apologize, and I will it's gonna be a little bit of a slow week for me at work, so I will try to
Cool.
do what I can.
It's all good.
What?
It's funny, your slow week happens and I have tech next weekend.
Jeez.
Okay, so the demonic point of view is the last section that you've gotten. Is that correct?
Let me double check that. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you spend some time reading and get to a point where this is This is going to be the next section you get. It's a little shorter than others that you've gotten. But then you realize that you get to a sort of breaking point, like a chapter break. I hope this comes through okay. I'll fix the formatting on that so it's clearer, but...
Oh, no, it did.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah.
So you get to the end of this explanation of the Lords of the Nine, the leaders of the Nine Hells, which is pretty short, but then realize that there's a sort of a chapter break where you get to another major section entitled Elves. So just for now, I'm going to cut it off there before you get into that next section, partially because I need to do some more cutting and modifying as necessary from the out-of-game Tome of Foes to make it more appropriate for the in-game text. Make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, what else is happening? Gert's reading for a while.
I'm probably playing something somewhat upbeat, probably somewhat depressing. I have no idea.
We get Two Finger Johnny background music.
No.
I think
Vibing to this music right now.
Here's a stupid question. Would Limora have mentioned anything to Taryn about the fact that he is, I'm going to say it again, literally changing color?
No.
Okay. She would have just been like, this is fine.
Well, actually, Taryn, let me ask you. I took your backstory to be like changing color was actually kind of a normal thing for you? Or not normal, like it happened under stressful circumstances, but that it had happened before. Is that true, or is that a new thing now?
So, when the campaign started and he was yellow, that was from one transformation of basically completely devoting himself to the Temple of the Light. So, like his personal emotions kind of drove that forward and kind of did that for him. So it was surprising to him the first time it happened, but he's kind of vibing with it now. It's not necessarily normal for how he's been, but like it's not completely shocking either.
Okay. I will allow you the opportunity to make the choice since it is your background. Would you say that Limura has seen you in more than one color before, or would in the caves be the first time that she'd seen you a different color than last time?
She would have only seen me as red and yellow. She would never have seen me as any other color.
Okay, but still more than one.
Still more than one, yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, to answer that question then, World, she would have been maybe like a second glance, because the color he is now is not one of the ones she's seen before.
I'm a cool color now.
Are you? I remember you mentioning you turned blue. Worrell was out of the room, and then you just were blue. Are you purple yet, or are you still blue?
I'm not purple yet.
Okay.
I dressed up as purple because that's the end goal, but like.
Sure.
But like, yeah, I'm still blue in game.
Cool. So you've still you've still changed color at least twice, and it's bananas. And I'm just saying it again.
Which is fair, but it is pretty bananas.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But I think until now, Taryn would kind of have been like just in a like an emotion, like when emotions hit you really heavily, like you don't really know what to say or don't really know what to do. So he just kind of been, I don't want to say dissociated, because he know, like he's aware of what's going on, but like he's like just kind of holding back, so he hasn't really said anything. He's just kind of focusing on doing the hut.
Is Cal good? Is Joe good?
Yeah, sorry, his mom just showed up.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, and he can retcon this if he wants to when he gets back to his chair. He would be on alert, like checking out. Probably, is it like actually safe to stay here, sort of thing, and he would come back indicating that he can hear voices farther down. But out of game, you guys have had a lot of shit in this in-game day, so I'm gonna let you have the long rest. Spoiler alert. So that's just like a heads up from Cal from down the hall there.
Sure.
And while that's happening, I didn't anticipate this was gonna happen right away, but you guys do get a level up because it's
shit.
I mean, you did warn us like 2.5 sessions ago that
Right.
there might be a level up coming, so I have things planned.
Yep. So
Ah!
audience, here's a little level up discussion if anybody has questions or things they're going to talk about doing and stuff like that.
Oh God, what do I do?
Whoa,
Level 9.
We're going to
what do I get?
9.
I haven't checked.
I have some rough checking. Mostly I get level 5 spells.
Y'all, I was not prepared.
I think there
Andrew's
was a
break card, the
solid.
most prepared.
There was a solid like 3 to 4 sessions where we were like, oh, there's a level up coming up soon.
Right.
Should
Right?
start checking stuff out.
I think that
Yeah.
was your in-game day. That 3, like at least 2
Well,
or
because
3
I
sessions.
remember we took that long rest and I was like, oh, do we level up now? Because you said the next time you take a long rest, you're going to level up. And you were like, oh, no, not yet. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I just had all of my
That's
stuff ready and then forgot about it for 3 sessions.
I gotta admit, I did not anticipate a long rest on Gar Shatterkeel's front fucking doorstep. I anticipated it after.
that
And
checks
this
out.
is the long rest after. Now that we're thinking about it and talking through it out loud, that's kind of wild.
Oh God, do I take a feat
God.
or an ability score? What do I do?
Oh, right, sure. Yeah.
What level are we now?
We're going to be
9.
9.
Okay.
Unless you're
Okay.
multi-classing.
No.
Stairs it is.
I wrote out a plan of how I want to progress all the way to 20, but like I keep thinking about it because there's cool shit at like
Yeah.
level 15 for both of them.
Oh,
And-
sure.
It's like I don't know what to do.
I gotta
I'll
say,
be honest,
Warlock
I'm
is
just
a.
like cranking towards level 10 so I can get those magical secrets and be
There
like,
you
what
go.
spells do I want? Open up the whole book, motherfuckers.
I love it.
I think Warlock has to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, multi-class class to work with. It's just so potent as a one of several classes for a single character.
It's pretty dope. Oh God, what do I do? What do I do?
Oh my god, why are these spells
It's
so
level
cool?
9. Level 9, like, you get cool things, but not necessarily, like, I don't get extra abilities. So just, like, your proficiency goes up once you hit level 9. Or not proficiency. Yeah, your proficiency bonus goes up.
Mhm.
So now, like, everything just, like, stacked itself a little bit.
Yep.
I've got a plus 10 in acrobatics.
It's divination.
Got some nice.
And the lowest I can roll in persuasion is an 18.
Got some nice vibey air temple music for a level up here. Everybody's feeling zen.
I don't think you understand. I personally and also Whirl incapable of feeling zen.
Oh yeah, and I'm about to make that worse once we get
I have-
into.
I have no chill.
Oh man.
Oh, and then also the long rest. Yeah. All them hit points coming back.
Shoot. Oh,
So-
shoot. I don't know what to do anymore.
GM, we might need to have a longer conversation about this at some point, but
Sure.
I feel like the perk that I just got at 9th level conflicts a little bit with the rules that you have set forth for critical hits.
Oh, okay. What is the perk?
It's called Brutal Critical. Beginning at 9th level, you can roll 1 additional weapon damage die when determining the extra damage for a critical hit with a melee attack. This increases to 2 additional dice at 13th and 3 additional dice at 17th.
Okay. Doesn't conflict. It is legitimately still in addition to.
Okay. So basically, like, if I were to get a crit hit on something, we do all, like, everything that you would be doing with it, and then I just roll another damage die.
Single damage die. So for you,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So for you, a critical hit, just to sum up, well, let's do this. Everybody, a critical hit is going to be max damage plus the die roll. That's the damage. For you, it's going to be that plus right now 1 additional die. So not the entire die roll. So like if your melee damage is 2d8, for instance, you'll still get the 2d8 for the critical, but then for this brutal critical, you'll get a 1d8 on top of all of that.
Sure.
So basically, you're considering his brutal critical die just like an additional damage die.
Yep, it works out as written. Is that he's, right now it's 1 more, and it goes to more as you beef up even more. So you're gonna be a powerhouse, sir.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just want that's the thing. I just didn't want to make it too like overly powerful or anything like that, because I'm also fine with like trying to manage something else. Like I said, we can talk about it later. But if you're fine with just that extra damage die, then like let me add him.
Yeah. Yep. You're all set. I needed. There we go. Is everybody else looking pretty good with level up stuff? Or do we have other questions?
Yes, I'm good. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm just seeing my spells and getting very excited about it.
This is all really cool. I'm super excited.
Oh man, I have to pick my 9th level spell or my 5th level spell. What is it?
Your 9th level spell.
know.
Oh no.
Not quite
One
yet.
day.
Power word kill. Goodbye.
Yay.
No, that's too powerful. I don't like it.
It's the win button.
Okay. So, with that, we will complete the long rest. Cal, I mentioned you were away for a minute. I just kind of piloted you enough for a moment to say you went and checked out the end of the hallway, heard some voices conversationally from like around. It wasn't really clear where, but we just kind of hand waved it enough to say long rest definitely happens. You're just alert of clearly other people / beings being around. So, what do we want to do?
Oh, goodness.
We going through this door or this pathway, gang?
That's all. I mean, we got 2 options: go back down or go through the door. I'm not a huge fan of going back.
I vehemently want to go forward.
Great, let's do it. Oh,
Great.
There's lots of ways to go.
There's more ways. What? Oh, did you already go through a portion? There we go. That's why.
Yeah,
It's like, what's
I
happening?
moved a little bit.
Yeah, so you'd be able to see even from the room that you're starting in that the hallway splits. And Whirl, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Cool.
The second you cross the threshold of this room into the hallway, the feeling of whispers and all of the emotions that you had been feeling to this point turn up to 11.
Okay.
And it's as if you can hear your father's voice whispering directly into your ear. At the same time, you hear off in the distance a melody that would be familiar to you. So, Would you like to add any flavor to like this song, this melody? It would be like a deeply meaningful, you've heard it before kind of thing.
I want to do this because this is true facts. The lullaby that my mom used to sing me was the song "Close to You." So it's like the part where she goes, on the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. Like that was my lullaby when I was little. Except she changed all the stuff about having blue eyes because I don't.
How cute.
But I would probably hear that.
Okay.
This is more of a player question than a character question, but is that heightening for anybody else, or is it just me?
You would have to ask.
Right. Did everyone else's like shitty underwater tinglies just like crank up?
I think I'm doing okay.
I'm good.
Nah,
No?
solid over here.
No one else hears that?
What is it? What is an underwater tingly?
You know, the last like place we were when like we were all, like we all had like feelings. I had feelings. Is anyone else having feelings right now?
I feel slightly confused as
Yeah.
to what an underwater tingly is. I
not
still
any
don't
more
understand.
not any more than it has been.
Fair.
Yeah,
Do I feel like I'm being pulled in any specific direction?
No, it's more of an echo through the chambers at this point, or through the
Okay.
hallways.
Does anyone else hear that song?
There's a song.
Cool. I'm just
Tight.
gonna keep feeling crazy for a second, and I'm gonna dip out. Should I go that far? Ugh.
Are
I
you
like-
okay?
Yeah. I hear like a voice talking to me that like feels familiar, but I've never like really heard it before. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try and go to that. Is everybody on board?
I mean, we don't really know what we're doing down here, anyways. So
I'm here for
if
you.
you have somewhere
Great.
yeah.
you think you can go, so I'm here for it.
Tight.
Excuse me.
Tight. Yeah, I'm gonna. Ooh, should we try a door or should we just keep walking? Does anyone else have any feelings about any of these doors?
You're the one who's
Look like doors.
kind of leading things right now,
Yeah,
my
I
dear.
know.
Because
Making decisions is hard.
I mean, you're the one who can hear it.
I know. Is it like so? It's not pulling me necessarily in any direction. Like,
No, sorry. It's imagine if you were like in a out of game. Imagine like being in a music hall during a concert and you have to go to the bathroom.
sure. Okay.
It's that sort of like echoey in the background, sort of ambient everywhere
Sure.
sound to you right now.
That's so weird. I didn't know someone could sing dubstep.
It's a talent, I'm sure.
I just hear it's like in the back of my head the whole time. I'm
Wob, 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 wob.
exactly.
There you go.
Oh no! Someone's gonna drop the beat. All right, I'm done. Let's try this way. I'm gonna go forward a little more. Oh, I think I hit there's a thing here. Is there anything in this room that I should be afraid of?
Well, that would be subjective.
Fair.
So this room is actually resonant of some of the areas in the Crushing Waves Temple where it just like crumbled up walls. There doesn't really seem to be anything purposeful going on in this room. There's literally nothing here except the dust and rubble of crumbled walls around it.
Cool. Does it look like an altercation or something happened here, or is it just a room that they didn't update yet?
Make a perception check.
I can help you with that.
Okay, perception. Boop. And boop.
Oh.
That's a
Dang
14.
it.
Semi-quick glance. It doesn't really look like it's been touched in a very long time.
Okay. I'll go back out.
And as you guys are sort of like skulking about here, you can hear the occasional intentionally soft, brief exchange of words between different people in the room to your west or your left. Oh, we said I'm just gonna stick to this. I'm gonna use like up is north, down is south, east, west globally. You do not know which way is which in character. Just for the descriptions of for us as the
Just
players at the
make it
table. Yeah. You can tell even without like putting any extra effort into it, it's not like normal conversational tone or volume. It's almost whispers, and very brief exchanges of words, not conversational at all. And you can tell that there are a handful of people in this room.
Okay. Hey, Gert, or Taryn, do you want to like listen through this door and see if there's anything like important that we should know? You're both better listeners than me. I write higher on the talking front.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get anything, and then I'll like come over here and scooch up to this door. Oh, hello. And then I'm gonna try and like put my ear on it and see if I can hear anything.
Okay, are you listening for anything in particular?
What the voices are saying, like what the people are talking about.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
Boop. That's the wrong tab. What'd I get?
Do it at advantage.
Not good. I got
Literally
6.
everybody's like waiting for your feedback, so
Oh.
do it at advantage, yeah.
Watch me roll a nat 1. Let's go.
15. Okay, so
Well, with my this is better.
yep. So you've got one person like clearly very close to the door who seems to be whispering to themselves about channeling power. And it's very broken, like higher achievement, channel more power. Just kind of like almost like chanting that. And then occasionally farther in, you'll hear several other people talking about the weapon and the work. The weapon and the work.
I'll turn back and in a whisper go, they're talking about channeling more power and higher achievements, and then there's people in the back talking about a weapon.
Cool. All right, weapon. People being weird. I think we're in the right place.
Yeah, checks out. I wonder if the weapon is one of the other weapons.
The orb
It could
things.
be.
No, because we have the
The orb
trident.
makers. The orb
Yes.
makers.
Orb makers. The orb makers.
I mean, do we want to? I feel like should we keep going, Whirl, or do you want to see what's in here?
Yeah. Oh, see, these guys are talking about more like actionable things because I feel like in the last place everyone was talking about like this is dumb and this sucks and I don't know what we're doing here, and these guys are like we're gonna take down a system, and now I'm trying to decide.
Down with capitalism.
Yeah, eat the rich
we
man.
found a socialist cult. I see.
I mean, I'd leave him alone if we're being very honest. I'm like, you do you make society better. But no, do you guys want to fight these guys? Or am I just running from my problems? I don't know. What does everyone else think?
I mean,
You got
people-
Joe on that one.
I wrote Joe.
Joe.
You did it.
Didn't we?
Yes.
Didn't we say that something happened when there was a Joe broken?
Yep. Oh, we did.
I believe I get inspiration if you break Joe.
I think everybody gets inspiration. Is that what we said?
I'll take it. Inspiration all around. Are we doing is the group inspiration, is it a reroll or is it an added die? And then what die are we adding?
It'll be an added D6
Okay.
to any skill check or save.
You're still muted, man. Oh gosh.
that was.
Yep, this is our life.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
So
It's because it's which of us has not done that, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
we're gonna fight. We're getting ready to fight. This
Or
happening?
do I just walk in there and be like, "Sup, nerds? I am your god. Let's go."
Hello,
I mean-
here to murder. Please
I mean, I am made
forfeit
of
all your
air.
cool shit. Also
You, are,
true.
you probably could sell it.
Do
Yeah.
you think I'm the
Depends.
weapon? That would be bananas.
Oh shit.
I mean, maybe when we get in there, we kind of judge how they feel about it. Like with the, like how last time when we broke into a room full of people, there were two like zealots, and then there were
True.
people who just were doing what they were told.
True. Right now, I'm thinking it's really too bad that we sold those feather robes, but let's go in there.
Okay. We'll all step to the side so I'm not blocking the door.
Should first door, second door, third door? Do we think they connect? We'll go down here. All right, you ready for some dumb stuff, guys? Because
Yeah.
whatever we do right now is about to be very dumb, and I am very aware of that, and I'm sure that you guys are also very aware of that. We've been in these wacky depths for like a while, and I think partially my brain is turning into goo, but I also have a feeling that like my dad is here. So even though I've never met him, I don't fucking know what's going on. Anyway, I really appreciate that you guys are here, and I think we're gonna do great. And break. Motivational speech.
Family reunion.
Nice.
We're gonna go level 2.
We're hitting the heavy stuff, guys.
That way everybody gets, I believe, an additional 10 hit points,
Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
if that's correct. Where is motivational speech? Or maybe
It's
I have to cast it
very
level 4. Oh, please. Alright, so I'm casting it at level 4 to get the extra. Whoop. So yeah, everybody gets 10 additional hit points for the next hour.
Woo.
All right.
Let's be real.
Yeah, I love that.
Cool. I'm gonna go in to this door, unless it is locked.
That would be really anticlimactic.
It is not locked.
Cool.
Okay, so you're gonna see several people inside. And we're gonna just like hard pause so I can finish a description before anybody tries to do anything. One person just to your right, so north on the map, is going to be a decoratively robed individual who's actually in a like your traditional sort of hands up at the sides, fingers together, meditative state, legs crossed and everything, floating. So like head height level with an average person, but feet crossed, hovering above the ground kind of thing. The two people immediately in front of you are less sort of ornate, but they're kind of like just standing facing each other with their heads sort of bowed, almost as if they look like they're praying. And then a few more to the northern side of the room in a similar sort of state. And one person at the very far end, so far west of the room, looks... Oh, of course you're not going to show me that. More of like an armored sort of look, and tinkering at what basically looks like a bar, with a few tools and pieces of equipment. And he's going to be the first one to look at you and sort of just like stop. And then this one will, in place, sort of like pivot. So they're still floating in the air. Open their eyes and look directly at you, Whirl, and say, Erisi, have you taken new form?
Yes.
Deception.
Okay.
What is the purpose of this one?
She seems to be...
Hi, Kevin. Just bopping around the background.
That's just
We hit this like super heavy oh shit moment, and then there's
we
Kevin.
got this, we got this.
I love it. Amazing.
I'll say I'll kind of like put a hand up at the door of like in a motion both to be like slow and chill, and also to be like, guys, don't fucking come in yet. And I'll say, she appears to be acting to try and infiltrate our work.
Wait, say, who is she?
So like, because why the new form? So I'm gonna like say that I'm dressing up as me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the person you're disguised
Pretending
as
to be
right now
is dressing up as me because I'm a bad guy,
Gotcha.
but smarter than that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so you're a good guy pretending to be a bad guy, pretending to be a good guy.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
dude dressed as a dude disguised as another dude.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Give me my acting my Emmy nomination, please.
there you go. At like while you're speaking, absolutely everyone in the room turns to face you and just goes into like this very deep bow and stays there, with the exception of this guy, who still does go like unfolds his legs to stand, folds his hands together, and at least like lowers his head while he's speaking to you. Not a single person in this room is looking directly at you anymore.
Say.
And he continues to speak. What would you have us do?
Resume your work as is. Should you see a group containing myself wandering through the area, let them investigate. Let's see what they think they find. And I'm also gonna levitate.
Okay, you can just do that, right?
Yeah, I can just do that.
Cool.
So just like
Yeah.
to help out, I'm just gonna be like, oh, also, what was the name she called me?
Erisi, Aerisi.
That's a sick name. Yeah, I will also levitate. But basically, yeah, give that motive for
Okay.
now.
The man behind the counter on the far end of the room will pipe in and say, My queen, this weapon is a wonderful gift. Could you please complete the infusion?
Not yet. The time is not right.
Of course, of course. Like immediately just like, nope, shutting up now.
I'll say back to work, everyone. Blessings from your queen.
In unison, my queen.
Oh boy, guys.
And
I learned a bunch about her now.
They will give an iconic hand gesture toward you. Where did that go?
Is it
Have
this
you
one? Because
guys
I'm really
seen
good at this one.
I gotta find it now. I completely forgot about it. I don't think you guys have seen it, actually.
No.
So it'll be even more important.
It scares me how good Whirl is at being a master of espionage.
It's
Here's
very
the thing. I don't think she would be. I'm just very intelligent.
This is
Whirl
cool.
is not this smart. She just happens to have frilly hair. Like,
So as they bow, they would basically do this.
oh, like the pointy thing. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I am looking for something, but
Sam's
I don't
having
remember
feelings.
what it is.
In a shocking turn of events, I did not expect things to go like this.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
cool.
And I'll step back out of the door and close the door, and be like, "Oh my god, guys!
What was that?
So they think I'm a queen.
Cool.
Apparently, there's like an air queen. Her name is Arisi, and she shape changes. So that is also now information that we have,
Awesome.
or takes new forms. They need me to charge a weapon. I didn't write any of this down. Yeah, so I also told them that I am her and that she looks like me, and that they're supposed to just let us wander around and do what we want to do. So, yes. I might talk extra weird and stilted so I sound like I'm this fucking queen lady, but I'm actually me.
Okay.
All right.
Are you sure? Okay.
Well, I'm not sure about anything anymore. This is bananas.
Oh no!
Cool. Let's go. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
We're missing
We lost a
dude.
Terran. Okay,
No.
let's take a short break to get that figured
Okay.
out, and
Cool.
run to the bathroom and everything. We'll
Because
be right
I
back.
need more coffee.
Yeah, that too. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. We figured it out. He came back. So that not a whole lot. Well, you might disagree. Not a whole lot has happened yet. But we've learned that some people think Whirl is their leader. At least in this particular room. So what's happening next? You, for the record, all of you in character would have at least heard all of that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take what you will from that.
So
And I'll continue to go. I promise I'm not a bad guy.
That would be a really deep cover if you were. I'd honestly wouldn't be upset at this point.
You'd be like, well played. So all three of these doors, spoiler alert, are the same giant room of everybody. I did not check and see what anyone was doing.
Yes,
like-
Whirl, if you didn't actually see it on the map, you would have in character seen that all of these doors would lead to the same room.
Right. It was more that there was that dude working on the bar stuff, and I like fully did not even clock that I should check to see what he was doing. Is where, like, yeah. And then there
Gotcha.
was the person that was talking to me and floating.
Mhm.
I swear you said he and she. So what type of person am I looking for that person would have been?
I'm sorry. He, the he that I referred to was the person working at the bar-like structure. The person talking to you more so was a she.
Fair.
Very ornately robed, clearly different style and look from everybody else in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And would we have heard, like, outside of the room, would we have heard, like, what was going on inside?
You would have only heard the words that were exchanged.
So, like the conversation, just, like, none of the work or, like, what was going on?
Correct.
Okay.
I have a theory that I cannot confirm like at all right now. But again, when we were back here last time, we found that letter from someone to Thurl saying like, you idiots, you're behind on your stuff. Everyone else is already making orbs. And it was a woman's name. And I do not remember what that name is, nor can I find it.
Yes.
I do have it somewhere.
Queen Eresi Kalanoth.
Ah, Kalanoth. Tight. That's who I am.
I do remember that letter, and it was that full signature.
Great. We know that now.
So-
Cool. I guess let's keep walking, guys.
Okay.
Someone pick north or south.
North.
Great. Going north.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go this way.
Boop.
And then see what happens.
It's in here.
Oh, this whole like weird side section on our east, yeah, was just like an empty room of nothing.
Cool. Tight.
Okay, we gotta basically ignore how shallow this area looks, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This cut off to your vision is just because the map image, it's like a different room up in that space on the page. Ignore it. I will, just to help out with the visual here, I'll scoot you to here. So World, the depth that you can see north right now is the same depth all the way to this point. It's just blocked off because the map is laid out funny.
Sure.
And it is yet another empty, crumbling, looks like it hasn't been touched in forever kind of room.
Okay. Am I getting any more feelings?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, the sort of whispering is ongoing.
Right.
But
it's not like intensifying.
Right.
Cool. Even though the dial only goes to a 10, except that this one is an 11.
It was a matter of speaking, but
I know. No, I know what you were doing. I just liked it, and I wanted to continue with the reference. It's a great reference. I guess I will go to like here. See if I hear like actual voices, maybe.
Yeah. So at by this point, any voices that you guys had heard from this room have now faded.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hear them anymore. No new voices at this point. However, you see this large opening to your southwest, and peeking around the corner world, you can see that about here. If you can see my ping, is like the completion of the square that you guys that you're sort of circling around.
Oh, okay.
The square that you're circling around.
Perfect.
Fucking hell.
That like fully makes sense. You're good.
The square that you're squaring around. Boom. Easy.
The triangle that you're trapezoiding. Like, it's the same diff.
Cal, is there any specific intent with the trailing behind here? Just so I know.
I mean, I'm following along, but also, making sure we're not being followed and anything like that.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
Passive is 13.
Okay. Noted. Yep. So, folks, notable that you don't really notice anything happening in the back here. You're getting the delayed feedback of like, okay, the whispery voices are in this door, and you're just the last one to have it fade behind you as you walk past. The rest of you, sort of in front, you're not really seeing anything new except this larger hallway that splits both ways.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself because there was a fire truck. Because I live on a woo street.
Ooh.
Woo.
So, Gert, let's have you stop there and nobody go any farther than Gert. Because now you can see a bird-like creature on two legs, but like with a beaked face, kind of pacing over here.
Would Gert recognize them from the last time we were here?
I'm assuming when you guys say here, you mean the Feathergale Spire?
Yeah.
Okay. You do not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does it appear hostile?
Make an investigation check.
I can also help you with that.
Okay. Hey, what do you know about bird hostility?
Ooh.
Surprisingly a lot.
A lot of bird hostility.
It looks very focused, not hostile. But it's just like going up, pacing up and down. And then actually after a moment, you'll see that there's a second and they're kind of like mirroring each other, just pacing up and down.
In this longer hallway, or in the northwest or north-south hallway, or the east-west hallway?
Down here. West
Okay.
of you. Mhm.
Cool.
Everything, the hallway east of you actually ends at a door.
Right. Which I feel like I would assume was that room I was just in. But I'm probably now wrong.
There we go. Okay.
There's so many doors.
Yeah.
Do we go by those? There's birds down there, and they seem like they're just pacing, like they're focused.
Like, do we bother them or do we go around?
I don't know that we can go around.
Can we
We'll have
distract
to-
them?
Sure, let's try and distract them. What do we have that's good at distracting birds?
Is your passive perception is insane, is it not?
No, it's only 13.
Oh, it's 13.
The
Mine-
clerics
My
are the ones with the
investigation
bonkers
is-
perception.
Yeah,
Mm,
I think it's
Yeah,
Kurt and
mine is
Darren.
19.
I was gonna say
Oh,
it's Taryn.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's-
Taryn, as you're sort of like peeking over shoulders and everything, you can actually very faintly hear, "Watch for intruders, don't let them by. Alert the queen, alert the queen." On repeat.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah, so they're looking for intruders, so we might want to act our way past them, and by we I mean whirl.
Copy.
Or we could go a different way.
Can I see them from this point?
Yes.
Now that we're all just like in a
I'm
straight
imagining
line,
like a straight up
Scooby-Doo wall.
everybody on top of the next just peering over
Yes.
this.
And then cows in the background like fucking idiots.
Well, I'm taller, so I can see over all you guys.
Okay, fair. So you're just the top head of the 5 heads.
Okay. I personally can't see them on the map, but
Right.
like if I okay, now I see them. Okay, great.
Yeah, you can. Here, I'll let you move I'll move your tokens here so you can actually see them. But you're just like peering over the edge, okay? And then you can see beyond them a large statue of a dwarf, and then several other humanoid people beyond that, down the larger hallway.
I have an idea.
Yes.
DM, do I have good enough information from this point, and or I don't know if we've met a Kenku in our adventures before, but would I personally have the sufficient information to be able to transform into one of these things?
You've seen it, so absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right. Just kind of like shake, and then suddenly there's a beak. I'll like put up my hood to kind of match them and walk over to them really quick. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh,
You have an
no.
inspiration. It's not even mine, but you have an inspiration.
Oh no. Everything's fine.
As you're coming up, they don't like change course or even look at you at all. They're just. Have you guys seen the video of the little parakeet that's like stomping its feet as it's walking?
Yes!
It's basically that. Just like
Yeah.
slapping
Oh my
their
God!
whoops, sorry. Slapping their feet on the ground. Watch for intruders. Don't let them by.
Amazing.
Alert the queen. Alert the queen.
Like hops and oh god, so cute. Okay. I'll try and be like as uniform as possible along with them and coming up and like standing there waiting until I can get their attention. Either that or just like shoving out a wing until I'm in front of them to get them to stop.
Okay.
That sweatshirt makes a great wing, by the way.
It does.
Thank you.
So the one closest to you will like get to the wall and then turn around and get to the point, and as if it doesn't even see you there, just like into your wing, and then stop and look at you.
Perfect. I'm gonna point down. I'm assuming this like continues south. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna shove a wing out that way and say, "Intruders! Intruders! Alert the queen!"
Alert the queen!
Wow.
Alert the queen! And they absolutely go flying. Not literally flying, but like zip.
Cool.
And then
Come back.
Actually,
I'm come back.
as that happens, you'll hear the echoing, like they're clearly getting farther away, and you'll actually hear a new phrase: "Stupid birds."
Tight. All right. Got rid of the bird people. There's still more people down there, so I don't know what to do. I'm still a bird, by the way. Like
Perfect. I mean, that last room thinks I'm the queen.
Yeah. Could you two escort the rest of us? Remember that time that you guys were monks and you escorted us?
Yeah.
What if we play that game again?
It's like that Thor
sounds-
Loki, help my brother, please.
Yeah, let's try that again. Or let's go that way since they obviously went that direction. So there's probably stuff that direction.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll do a cute little Kenku like stomping on the
Foot-palm.
ground.
Yeah.
Ash, I love that you are the shapeshifter in this scenario. After was it pumpkin or
Yeah,
peanut? Pumpkin.
it was pumpkin. Yeah, I love pumpkin. Kenku's the best, man.
Could not have worked out better. Okay.
All right.
So you are essentially trying to act as an escort for the crew now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're tag teaming the escort situation. Yeah.
Okay. So now notes. Yeet.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we do this. There's this thing we find where like it worked once.
Yep. Yep.
Try it again until it doesn't. Woohoo!
Hindsight, do you think that was why they
I
were
think
like
that's what
so
we've been
down
doing
to
this
clown
entire-
when we showed up to Feathergale, and they were like,
Ooh.
"Oh yeah, totally come in." Was it because I'm wind?
Maybe.
You could
Maybe.
retroactively insight check.
I mean,
If you'd
yeah,
like.
all right. Let's might as well. I'll retroactively inside check that. You're 4.
Shit. Oh my god.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reasonable to believe that was part of it, but you would also recall that they were a lot more.
They were like the most welcoming of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They were
They were
very
much more jolly.
jolly and like I want to say militaristic, but that's not like.
Well, they were
Think-
getting ready to throw a celebration, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think like the what are the guys in Black Castle in the Protectors of the North in Game of Thrones?
The
White
Oh,
Walker. No,
the
that's
watch.
The Watch.
The-
The Ring.
Yeah, something Watch. A lot like
Right.
those guys. Like they were more
Oh, the Night Watch, right?
Night Watch, that's it.
something like that.
So like semi-official military, but still like just your gruff guys that want to fight and drink kind of thing.
Sure.
And so they were much more welcoming, and there was a mention of the belief that you were there to potentially join them.
Yes, and also we were there to like play music. Was the big one. We were like, we're
That's when we
here for
started
a
the
party.
circus.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when we
Oh.
started the
Yeah.
circus.
That was the first circus attempt.
Yeah.
In a way. Yep.
Okay. Let's walk down this hall.
Oh no, it's empty. Shit. Okay. So, are you all sticking with the group, or is anybody going to be deviating?
I'm hanging.
I'll kind of be out in front, being my funny little bird military person.
Okay. So I'll scoot you guys to a point where I would need to give you more description. So about here. Okay, yep. So what do we have? We have several pathways converging on this plaza. And you can see this statue, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Scoot the view here. There we go. In the center of which stands a 30-foot tall granite statue of a dwarf grasping a great stone lantern in an outstretched fist. So yeah, I thought that was a mug.
It looks like a
It
Or a
mug.
tanker.
It
It
does.
Yep.
does look like a mug.
A bright light actually emanates from it,
Hmm.
revealing what you can see are ruined, basically shops around this inner area.
Shit.
They did say it was a city.
Was
Oh fuck.
oh yeah, this was like the lost city, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Whoa. Okay, so as we're like marching forward, me as like fake Kenku or whatever, I'm kind of marching in like a Ghibli-esque kind of over-exaggerated fashion. And then once we get up close to these fellows over here, I'll say, the queen, intruders alert, and just kind of point towards them.
You're pointing where exactly?
Pointing back towards the queen and the intruders that we have.
I mean the queen, the rest of us, them, us being the intruders.
Oh.
Make way for the queen's escort.
Okay, now I'm tracking. Goddamn. Okay. This person looking very similar to the woman who had addressed Whirl, the queen, in the previous room, will walk up and just like stare daggers at you, and then like look up and see Whirl and have this moment of existential what the fuck do I do? Basically me in game.
Great. Welcome to the club.
Yup.
Whoa!
And she'll kind of like for a moment she'll address you and say, since when do we allow the servant birds this duty of escorting?
And I will chime in. Since she was the one that found the intruders.
Deception check. Okay.
Shit.
Oh my god.
I rolled an 11.
Amazing.
She will immediately go into a deep bow in response to you, Whirl. And you'll notice that these other guys farther in are kind of like watching, but they're still like their heads are on swivels, like they're constantly on alert for things from these other hallways. So they're just kind of like quick glance at the other hallways and then watching you guys, and then quick glance at the hallway and then watching you guys. And she'll say, what would you have me do?
I mean, I know what I want to say, which is take us to where we're this seems stupid. Take us to where we're keeping the weapon. Like, come with us, escort us, Ma. That doesn't work. That's the worst. Ooh.
Oof. I
My
would
queen,
hate to be made an
I'm-
example of.
I'm sorry, but I have not earned the honor of knowing or seeing the weapon. Has that changed?
I appreciate your honesty. I will continue with these intruders through the rest of the area. Thank you.
My queen.
Blessings from your queen.
And this person will go back here.
Yeah.
And so these guys are kind of like generally shifting around back and forth. They're clearly like watching these areas. But then after that exchange is finished, they would seriously be intentionally not looking at you guys anymore.
Is the intentionally not looking like a okay, that's fine, or more of a like respect situation?
Insight check. Actually, do it at advantage. I didn't even see the number yet.
Great. Hopefully this one is better.
It was one better.
It's easy enough to tell that it's a mix of respect and fear. They're like straight up afraid of you.
Nice.
This is way too much power to give me.
I set the rules that I set, and you have been doing things that haven't broken any of those rules. So
Great. I'm just busting down doors, being like, "Let's fucking go!"
who am I to take the fun away from that, right?
Right. I feel like maybe we shoot for where this guy is, and then like figure out where to go next.
Okay.
If anyone
you
wants
can
to,
move.
if anyone wants to whisper anything into my brain as to where they think we should go next, I am fine with that information. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do next.
See,
I have to, like, pretend like I know what's going on.
All I can think of is that Gert is like trying to stifle a laugh and just like mumbling to herself, "Message from my queen." But like trying to keep it together so that we don't break the
Sure.
the act.
You're like pinching your thumb like so
Yep.
hard.
Listen to
That's good. I'm just gonna use this on you guys for the rest of the time. I'll just be like, blessings from the queen. That's gonna be my new inspiration. I'll just be like, blessings from the queen.
Gosh, this
Oh
is
my God.
amazing.
All right. North, south, west. Where are we going?
I kind of like do a loud whisper and be like,
I didn't hear what that was.
sorry. I was gonna say I'll do a loud whisper and kind of be like, how do I want to phrase it? Oh no, I hope I'm not alone in the prison. I hope there are other prisoners
Oh.
who keep
Yeah.
me company.
Shit. Here's what my brain is doing. I want to go, hey, Gart, take us to the other prisoners. But I also know that if we have this Kenku, who probably also works here, then ideally she would know where the prisoners are, but she doesn't because she's Iz. So that's what my brain is doing.
She also, well, they also said that like the Kenkus don't get to escort the prisoners. they
Oh,
just-
true.
So,
You two, take us to where the other prisoners are kept. So I'm saying that to
which
these.
two?
I'll shoot for these guys because they probably know. There's two of them.
Yes. Hold, please.
I appreciate the level of
Sorry,
dying that
just-
Sam is doing right now.
I'm also imagining like the Hermione playing Bellatrix at this point.
Oh
and then
my
it's also
God.
like that's the vibe I'm getting from this whole thing. Like, oh, I have to be meaner. You two.
mhm.
And then even still on top of that, knowing that it was like that Helena Bonham Carter talked to
Right.
Emma Watson and was like, how would you have done this scene so that I know how I should be doing this scene? And
Yeah.
it's like how it's like
Yeah.
a Rashomon fight
Yep.
Yeah.
right now.
Okay. So when you say that, both of these guys will get this moment of panic and then they look at each other, and then run over to you, give you a deep bow, the like head almost hitting their knees kind of thing, and ask, "What of the station? We're on high alert."
On the prisoner.
I'm like, I don't know what they're asking me. You defy an order from your queen?
No, my queen, no. The station, the watch for the station. Your last order was to make sure that it was not left unmanned.
This will be temporary. Then you can get back to manning your station as soon as we have been delivered.
Yes, my queen, of course. And then this one will look at the robed individual and give a quick, like, finger point as if, like, giving a quick signal. And then this one will go over here. And this one will sort of, like, scoot farther into this hallway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're being walked by these guys. I'm gonna reposition everybody a little bit.
It's fucking bananas, man.
This is. I mean, as much as it's making me like think on the spot, this is so much fun. It's
Guys, there's more water.
kind of blowing my fucking mind.
We'll never be done with the water.
Okay, so they start leading you this way. Kenku in tow, and the rest of you just behind them. Down this hallway, we'll put you there. Okay, now I gotta go here. Zip, zip, zip. This one. Okay. The walls around this moat bear the same sort of very smoothly chiseled and formed stone as a lot of structures that you've seen to this point. You're kind of past all of the ruined and dumpy rooms now, and are in like a clearly nicer, more kept area. This moat, yeah, I mean it's water. I don't have to do too much with that. You're on a very narrow walkway at this point, and a couple of things are going to happen. First of all, Cal and Gert in the back here. Just as you're like crossing into the moat area, you can hear a very faint and then these two people up here are starting to like holler at each other, and they both rush to this hallway and end up sort of like disappearing. Whirl, as you're crossing this moat, you can hear the melody that sort of like piqued your interest as you started much clearer. It's almost like you walked through a veil or like opened a door that was blocking some of the sound, and it's almost as if it's like happening right in front of you, but it's clearly not. Oh, I gotta move this, sorry. The music is surrounding you, and you can feel it sort of like it's empowering to you. You're feeling a rush of energy.
Okay.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other thoughts? Anyone else waving hands about it? Say it.
Oh.
Cool.
Noteworthy that the moat is about 20 feet below you guys, so like the drop off, it's a very sharp drop off of this platform.
Also, fun fact, perfect size for a dragon turtle.
All right. Walking past this, what do we have here? Zip. Walking past this door, all of you can hear what you would recognize as hymnal-like chanting on the other side of this door. And we continue. Tell me if you want me to stop.
I mean, does it sound like any? Can any of us understand the hymnal chanting?
Actually,
Yeah.
what language does everyone speak? What languages?
Whirl speaks primordial.
I speak a bunch.
Yeah, you got a whole list.
Yeah, I speak like 3 of them.
Gonna go ahead and assume that it's not common or draconic, so we're gonna move on from me.
Celestial, Dwarvish, Elvish, Primordial.
And then the only ones that I have Celestial, Abyssal, and Infernal.
Okay.
Got
This could
orc,
get...
thieves, can't, and undercommon.
So for the people who can understand any of this, it is partially abyssal and partially primordial.
Ooh, let's go.
It's like alternates.
What are they saying in Primordial?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be very broken because you guys are passing by.
Mm-hmm.
So in the folks that can understand Primordial, you will hear to the eternal glory of Yan Si Bin. And then the abyssal portion. The elements and binding of life.
Cool.
Weird.
Fascinating. Yancy Bin's the name of the guy at the top of the spire.
Yeah, he got.
God.
He's the big statue.
Yeah. We shall continue.
Okay. This is so wild, guys. Jesus Christ.
Hey, you started it.
We just do things and they work.
Yeah.
Honestly, like.
Oh, why
You're the
was
one
this-
that was like, "Oh, the second everyone sees you, they think you're a god," and I was
Yeah,
like,
I
"All right,
mean-
I guess I'll play with this."
So you would have seen this coming earlier. I'm sorry, I just realized it was on the wrong layer. But what I can only describe as a walking statue is kind of like patrolling in the water here, shaped like a giant dwarf. And the water for it is about knee height, and it's literally just walking back and forth. It'll turn its head to you, Whirl, at one point, and it will not miss a stride or break stride in any way. Just kind of turn back to looking forward and still patrolling.
Cool.
Okay, so now we get to here. And that's dumb. Let's remove these barriers because they... Oh, wait, no, that's not dumb. Let me make sure. Are those tables or are they pillars? They are pillars. Okay. I'll go here so you guys have slightly better view, I think. Let me know if it's not the case. But what you should be able to see are 3 tapered obelisks. And even from this distance, you can see that their sides are inscribed with ancient pictographs. And their peaks scrape up against a 15-foot high ceiling, sort of at a point. And as you get closer, you can actually see, at least the first one, has a person sort of slumped over at the base. Let's get to here. Hang on.
These are prisoners.
I'm going to let you guys move a little bit more freely at this point. Just suffice to say, where these guys are now, way down here, that's where you're going to end up turning off. So if you want to move where you would like to move in order to like get around these pillars and then see what you see, go for it.
Cool.
Is the guy slumped up against the obelisk alive?
Yes. And as you guys start to walk by, he'll sort of like look up at you and like can barely keep his eyes open. And won't really say or do anything until Whirl walks by. And then he'll get more alert for a second, still just like clearly too weak to do anything else other than to say, "Oh, my queen." And then just sort of like slump.
Did they look like, is this a prisoner situation, or is he just sleepy?
You can see easily enough that like he's tied to the obelisk.
Okay.
And then you see it 2 more times, with each obelisk beyond that one. And all 3 of them are sort of just like slumped over in the exact same position in all 3 cases.
Do I recognize anything on the obelisks? Trying to decide if it's like a sacrifice situation. Because it's not outside of the wheelhouse of what we've seen so far.
Nothing that would indicate exactly what's happening here, but you would recognize colored cobblestone mosaic around each depicting the very same dwarf that the statue did a few rooms back. The one with the lantern. Oh, and at this point, by this point you can actually all hear screaming, like tortured screaming, coming from generally this direction.
Ooh.
Is the music for me getting is it any other change, or is it just the same like heightened level as when we passed that threshold?
It's basically as loud as it can get to you right now, and you're definitely feeling I'm not going to say like supernatural force or magic pulling you or anything like that, but it's also coming from this direction.
Cool.
Ooh.
I'm trying to decide how I can communicate with the team without clearly giving away that I'm not the queen.
I'll let you think about it. I have to run to the bathroom super quick, but
Fair.
we won't go like full break. So converse.
Ooh, God. This is getting intense.
This is really intense.
Weird as hell.
I know.
So I guess how long are we anticipating keeping up the ruse?
That is a very good question, and I don't know.
Right? And I only say that because, you know, if we go to the torture place, kill the 2 buddies that brought us here,
Yeah.
and then like rescue whoever's being tortured,
Right.
Yeah.
right? But we'd have to make sure that we killed them because we wouldn't want them running back and alerting everyone that
Right.
Also, we'd want to make sure that it was like plausible for us to be able to do it without being heard, or like without the conflict happening, or without the conflict being heard or noticed by anyone outside.
Yeah. See, what I'm picturing instead is we're going to get to that torture room, and it's going to be that Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man situation of maybe whoever the queen actually is.
Okay, but
Oh,
everything
yeah, I
you
have
just
no idea.
discussed, you can't use. Metagaming. What would your character actually do?
I mean, I assume I'm going to follow wherever these two guys go, just generally hanging behind and pretending to be a queen.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Lightly checking out these guys. Not sure why.
The people tied to the pillars, what is their obviously they're in bad condition, but like is it from like just starvation, or have they been like attacked or like physically harmed?
Both.
Both?
Easy enough to no check necessary. You can see that they have welts all over their bodies. They're barely. They don't even have like full on robes or cult garb in any way. They have like tattered shirts and shorts, and you can all easily enough see through that enough. Like their stomachs are kind of caved in. Their arms and shoulders and chests are withering. They're clearly starving and beaten. And actually, as you're passing by, the two escorting you will turn to you, Whirl, and say, increasingly disappointing initiates, but I believe your new methods will prove a better batch.
Remind me what the crimes, infractions of these three were.
Only that of wanting to join our cause. They are our newest initiates.
Continue.
My queen. I feel so weird having to constantly say that to you.
It's bananas. This whole thing is bananas.
Okay. I'm gonna move
So
here.
this is initiation. Bananas.
This is, yeah.
I mean, like, initiation for Sacred Stone was to, like, fight a blind, crazy monk woman, so that's not, I guess, too far outside of the wheelhouse either.
Okay.
Well, I
False
mean,
man.
I feel like with that, you would either.
Sorry.
I was going on a tangent.
Oh,
Never mind.
okay. Okay, so in a shocking turn of events, you are met with more hallways.
Crazy. Is this a dungeon or something? Shit.
The real
Yeah.
villain of this game are the hallways.
They're gonna open this door and stand off to the side. And basically just like gesture for you to go in.
I will, like, I'll kind of bow to them. I'll say, you can now return to your original post. Blessings from your queen.
Deep bow. And they will hurry to follow your instructions.
Great. We doing this, gang? We going to this door?
I mean,
Where's-
there's
where-
another guy.
Where's the screaming coming from?
Here.
Inside my
different
head.
Inside your
So the
head.
screaming's coming from a different room?
Yes, not the one that you are led to. It's
Right.
clearly coming from over here.
Did they open the door, or were they just standing at it?
They opened it for you. Yeah. And actually, as that happened, all of the rest of you now hear music emanating from this room.
I am worried.
It's a very weird juxtaposition, guys. I'm kind of freaked out.
Hey there, Queenie. I think we're hearing some of that interesting stuff that you mentioned earlier.
Cool. Do we go into this open door, or do we deal with the screaming first? Because the door is already open. But I also feel bad about whatever is happening with the screaming room.
Hey, how's Lemura doing with all of this?
Oh yes, that is a great question. Let's divert all of my feelings because I can't fucking do this.
Just time out real quick. Who's this?
That is one of the people tied to the obelisks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the walls are kind of weird.
Okay.
Actually, I should make them smaller so that it's easier
Just
to
making
see.
sure we weren't like talking in front of somebody that we shouldn't be talking in front of.
I mean,
Here, let's
constantly
just
we're
do
talking
this.
in front of someone we shouldn't be talking in front of.
I'm just going to remove those walls. Those are granite pillars
Tight.
going all the way to the ceiling, but I'm just going to remove them from blocking vision.
Right.
So yeah, those three guys are tied to the south-facing wall of these obelisks in the exact same position.
They were the initiates that are being trained.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Maybe let's go in this room and just like think of a further game plan. Let's like take a breath and make a plan.
The screaming room?
I mean, this.
No, the one that they opened for us.
There,
Not screaming room.
all right. Let's try that.
So you're going in this room?
But there's music coming out of there, and I don't think you guys understand that it's music.
I mean, I hear it now.
I mean,
Yeah.
there is music. Yeah.
So
But like that, like I don't think there's not like a record player in there. Like I think there's probably
There's probably people.
yeah.
Hey,
People that might have heard us talking just now.
I don't think that. I think there's some music, and also there's someone outside now. Can't anyone have a quiet conversation in a fucking dungeon?
An astute-looking, proud-looking half-elf man will step out and look at you, sort of conversing for a moment, but you stopped quickly enough. It's not a problem. And address you again, Whirl. My queen, we've taken another form.
Yes. This is a being that has been trying to infiltrate our operations, and I figured it would make more sense to look like her, moving about other spaces. But smarter than that.
But smarter than that. Make a deception check. This is the wild thing. I'm keeping it honest enough with like new deception checks for new people, and you just keep nailing it.
Oh,
Not like
Crushing
that.
it.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ.
crushing it.
Yeah. And it's not like you're fudging it because I can see the numbers.
Yeah. It's, man, not playing a bard and other things is like really hard for my being.
Mhm.
Okay, so he'll continue talking to you and say, well, your tactics have always been inspired, to say the very least. Would you like to sit in on our attempted upbringing?
Yes.
Okay. He will lead in.
And I'll say I will bring the intruders behind me to see the true power of our being.
Oh. I should be impressed to see that myself as well. It's been too long since the last time. And these ones could use a bit of inspiration.
Oh, trust me, I am chock full of inspiration.
So...
And I'm going to say that Gert, because she's been doing everything she can to hold it in this whole damn time, is going to get a bardic inspiration. So I would like to point out you now have a D6 and a D8.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so Whirl, you take a step into the door. Everybody else, I'm assuming, is close in tow.
Yep.
And
I'll
take a
sneak
look
out of the way,
into
sneak
a
out the way.
room with a modest little fountain in the middle. It's more like a pool. It's not like a water feature type of thing. It's just a small pool. And a ring of 5 people holding various instruments are sort of like... A couple are like tinkering with their little instruments, and then a couple others are just like watching this person walk in, this half-elf. But one in particular catches your eye. There is no mistaking for you that this is Nyavara.
What? Okay. She better keep her shit together.
So I'll put a dot on Nyavara so that you know it's her.
Yeah.
And she sees you and gets this for just a moment, and then like shakes it off for a second and goes back to just like shoves her head down at her flute,
Right.
and then
She would
just
play a
like
flute.
pretends to adjust. And this would be a point we should take a break.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Oh, she sees her stupid fucking necklace too.
We'll be right back.